Folks, it is my honor to introduce you to Gjeebs Golf, Gjeebs Golf channel. If you know me from the main channel with all the automotive content, you came over. Thank you very much. We're headed to the back of the range at Dobson Ranch today. They have a little private area that you can pay a monthly fee for. That's where I like to practice. And we're going to go through my bag. So first I'm going to be hitting a 60-degree Vokey SM8 wedge, and then with the Tour Velvet 360 grip. The Tour Velvet 360s don't have any logos on them. The reason they made these were for the adjustable drivers and woods of today, where you can open and close the face. When you do that, you twist the shaft around, so if you had like a Golf Pride logo on it, you'd mess up your alignment. So this way you can spin it any way you want, and I feel like the Tour Velvets have the best feel. That's how I personally feel. A lot of tour pros use that grip, even though it's like the cheapest grip you can get. It does have the best feel, in my opinion, but grips are totally up to you. It's whatever you feel is best. So yeah, with my wedges, I usually hit some wedges to warm up, just slow, smooth swings. You never want to be swinging hard at your wedges. That's something that a buddy and I just rediscovered. I was telling him I was having trouble hitting my wedges like 60 yards or 70 yards or 80 yards. And we just realized that I was swinging too hard. Just need to go in slow motion, and I'll show you some of that at the very end of this video. But yeah, just warming up, hitting some wedges. I have an S400 shaft in this wedge. Normally, the wedge flex that you can just pick up in any store for your wedges is a S200. So it's a very rubbery, weak shaft if you have a higher club head speed. That's why I went to the S400. A lot of tour pros will play like an X100, and then they'll step down for their wedges, so they'll be at like an S400. And for my club head speed, that's what we felt would be best. So now I'm going to be hitting this TMB 3-iron from Titleist. I used to just play a regular 3-iron, and it also has KBS Tour X 130 gram shaft, and then it also was pured by Cool Clubs. So shaft puring, shafts are not perfectly round, so what they do is they find the roundest, most straight edge to have the shaft pointed down toward your club head. That way it performs as it should. It's just an extra step that when you get custom fit, that companies take to just have everything as optimal for your swing. I'll talk about the custom fitting I got once my irons come in. That'll be in a future video. But the ball flight on this club now is incredible, just because I have the right flex of shaft. The shaft ultimately is the most important thing on your club, even over the club head, because that's what kicks the ball and launches it and spin rates and everything. Without having the proper shaft, you're just kind of screwed out of the gates. So. How you doing?
Sick. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I played in a group recently. 3 of us were lefties. There was 1 righty.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just jogs. Jogs everywhere.
Guy was an absolute beauty.
Good. I figured something else.
Alright, so next up is my 5-wood. It's a Gen 4 prototype from PXG. I actually play a 5-wood instead of a 3-wood because my swing, I come into the ball pretty steep. I think it's a Tensi 70 gram tour issue shaft. So I come into the ball pretty steep, and with my 3-wood, I was just smothering it. I have a Sim 3-wood. If any left-handers out there want a Sim 3-wood, I have it for sale for 200 bucks. But I just wasn't getting it off the ground, off the deck, and then it was also basically going as far as my driver. So I really needed something that would fit that gap. So this is going around 280 yards, I would say, probably 260 in the air, and then 20 yards of rollout. But this thing is just great. Also, something weird I'm noticing is when I hit it off of the toe, so when I line it up off the toe and hit it, perfect ball flight. If I hit it dead square on the face with these range balls, it just balloons up in the air and overspins. I think a lot of that is actually the range balls are just junk and they spin too much off of woods. But I love this thing. Mike Nicolette is the head designer at PXG. He was at Ping for 25 years, and I got to meet him when I came out here because he's actually from where I grew up. So I met him when he was transitioning over to there, and that's why I have a lot of confidence in what they're building, because Mike is a proven designer. He's also won on the PGA Tour, I think in 1984 at Bay Hill. So he's a good player, and then he also has been designing ping clubs for years, so that's why people call PXG's expensive pings. But this 5-wood is incredible. Like, you have to try it. The way it looks at a dress, the way it feels and sounds, it's really changed my wood game, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Also, as far as me narrating this video, normally I would be talking as I'm on the range, but there were so many people on the range, I didn't want to be some crackhead talking to myself. I didn't feel like bothering anyone. So I'll try to go at times when I can just talk as I'm hitting, which will be a lot better. I think I quack hooked that one over onto 9 fairway, which is why I'm looking at it like that. But yeah, so this 5-wood has just been incredible. Now onto my driver. I'm still playing a TaylorMade M3 driver with an Acra shaft. Acra, another great shaft company. I just love the M3 head. I'm going to play it till the face breaks. And the shaft I have in this thing is incredible. Acra is another company you should check out. It's the TZ5 75 gram with the Ionic grip that I put on it. So yeah, this thing is incredible. We'll just listen to some drivers here. One thing that's helped me with my driver was slowing the takeaway, and I also align it off of the heel. As you can see, I'm lined off the heel, and then when I come into impact, I hit it right square in the face. For many years, I was lining it up center or off the toe, and then hitting it off the toe, which was making me duck hook it a lot, led to a lot of inconsistencies. So just really as of this past year, I've been lining it up off the heel, and for me, that works to hit it square on the face. You'll see guys like Zach Johnson lines it up way out on the toe, and then he hits it flush on the face. So kind of just, if you're struggling with your driver, kind of mess around with how you're aligning it, and I think that'll really help you out.
Wait, actually, do we have probably saved? Let's just go in there and text him. Yeah. Nothing really good. Really.
Now this club is fairly new in my bag. It's a 50 degree, 12 degrees of bounce F grind, and you'll see it has the custom stamping and sticker also from the Vokey Custom Shop. I ordered this, I don't remember, maybe a little over a year ago. Got that custom stamping done, and then also again it has the S400 shaft. That way all of my wedges are the same flex. But this club I'm actually struggling a little bit with right now, just with consistency on ball flight. I don't know why exactly. I'm used to playing a 52 degree, and I went to a 50 degree because when I got my irons looked at, we realized that my pitching wedge is 46 degrees. I thought it was 48 degrees, so it makes more sense for me to have a 50 as opposed to a 52. That way the gapping is consistent with all my wedges, because technically this is a 50. I had my 56 degree bent to 55, and then my 60 degree was just left at 60. That way the gapping is consistent and the shafts are consistent. So we got that all figured out. But yeah, I really like this club because of the custom stamping, and I'll get used to it, but that's why I'm working on it. Now I'm going to be working on hitting some knockdown shots, again with the driving iron. With this shaft, I'm able to keep the ball down. The key with knockdown shots that I've found, put the ball back in your stance, have it like right in the middle of your stance, and then the tempo of your swing should be the same as when you're hitting just a normal shot. A lot of times I will overswing when I need to hit a knockdown shot, and really you don't need to. You need to just keep your front shoulder, so in this case my right shoulder for a right-handed player, your left shoulder, keep that down through impact. Keep the ball back in your stance and you'll hit it a lot lower. So this is just a reliability shot I'm working on for off the tee in a tight fairway for when I absolutely need to hit the fairway or keep it under the wind. So for the final part of this, I'm hitting my 60-degree wedge again, and I'm aiming directly at those 2 palm trees right in front of me to the left. Those are 66 yards away, so you're going to see how slow I'm swinging to hit at 66 yards. Yeah, just really, really slow tempo. I think that one landed right at them. But in a couple shots here, I hit one probably about 80 yards, which at this distance is just the slightest. You take it back a little too far or swing through it a little too much. It's just such, this is what you have to practice the most to get your handicap down into the +1 region, +2. If you're able to keep this feel up throughout time, you'll be able to score a lot better. But yeah, this is something I'm just really working on. I'm basically letting the weight of the club just fall down to the golf ball. And that's all I'm thinking about on these shots, and just trying to get my muscle memory to a reliable point to where I'm not practicing a ton, but I can at least have some reference points to fall back on when I'm playing my rounds. That way, when you hit a good drive and you're only 60 yards out or 50 yards out, you're able to attack the pin and take advantage of the great drive that you hit. Well, I appreciate you guys watching that video. Let me know what feedback you have or anything you want to see in the future. I'm also going to invest in an app that has some type of shot tracer technology. That way you can actually see where the balls are going or see it more clearly. Also, if you're still with me in the video, you can click this video and watch it next on the channel. But if you're an early viewer, there's probably no video there. But if there is one there, go ahead and give it a click. That's all.